Mine? Not mine.
I think, yeah, just getting on right now.
This dude is here. I'm giving me an 8. He's like, look, I'm gonna give you a single. Come on, man.
All right. Peace. Four Corners, Divine Born Supreme Love. Welcome to the channel. Abdul Rahman. Joseph, 793rd. The Word Smith. Jewels. Welcome to the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? So, today we just going down the list, really. Build to be born. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we hear these little sayings, right? But do we, do they mean anything to you? You know what I'm saying? Because mathematics, of course, it's there for us to build, right? It's there for us to apply to our life, and we all having different experiences or whatever. So it's not, to say that, Shaqueen, what's the deal? How you doing? But you know, do we really have any idea of what that means, built to be born? So, you know, that's something about, you know, just the lessons in general, right? They see everybody, if you ask them what knowledge and wisdom is, they get that down pat. You see what I'm saying? Just like if you ask somebody what the build degree is in 140, they had that down pat, right? But the understanding power degree is one line. They don't got that down pat because it's too high. That's something strange about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, for me, I do the knowledge to all of them. You know, I like, you know, those to me, those like the college lessons. Once you pass 31. See, there's nothing about no mysterious guys in once you pass 31. It's just you and the devil. Cause yeah, everything's real now. Like we already got all look. You know what happened now. This is how we got to here. Yes, you know what I mean? And look, like I was saying, was it on here? I was saying it. Somebody I was telling that look, you know, if you just come in to learn the knowledge as a you know, intellectual exercise, you know, just to say, you know, you study different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, kind of like in just the liberal arts, kind of, you know, you know, if you studied all day, you really don't need to know that past 20. That's it. Once you get to 20, right? You already know who's God, you know, who's the devil, you know, about civilization, righteousness, knowledge of self, and all that. See, when you get to 20, right? Just listen. The civilized is held responsible for the uncivilized. It must be punished by the nation of Israel. You see what I'm saying? That's all you need now. That's it. That's your prescribed law to a said person and ability, right? Right? Is that the civilized are held responsible for the uncivilized and must be punished by the nation of Islam. So what that means is you got everything down pat. Don't fuck up, but we'll fuck you up. That's it. Because you're not gonna. You understand what I mean? You don't need no. You're not coming past this point. See, from after that, it's telling you what we're gonna do. It's not telling you about no prophecies and no predictions. It's the same thing with the mathematics. See, knowledge and wisdom, a lot of people know how to talk. A lot of people don't know how to build. So we don't have a lot of that. Maybe I didn't word it clearly enough. You know, do we, you know, how does everybody see that right there? Building to be born. So because that's, you know, even on the verbal level, is very important, right? Because see, you know, we can come in here, right, and just be, you know, we can be building. We can add on to, you know, different facts or whatever, right? And, you know, I might learn something from you, you might learn something from me, right? And then we go outside and go do whatever else. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we build, but what was really born from that? You understand what I'm saying? Or if you see two people, especially if you see two people, right? And, you know, they might not see the topic the same way, right? You know, now, they could just be talking to be talking. Meaning, neither person, both people is seeking to be understood way more than they seeking to understand. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? And in that case, right, you're just building to be building. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be that you was there having a conversation, right? And, it may be something in your memory that you recall of, yourself when you was dropping all this high science or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is nothing was born from that.
And they're going to walk away with the same disagreement.
Right.
The same disagreement. They listen to it, pretend to listen, they walk away with the same opinion and disagreement.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? It's like one of them things, like give and take. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really give something unless somebody take it.
It's like Jenga.
What's Jenga?
The game
where you stack bricks.
Oh yeah. You
try to take away, but if you take the wrong thing away, you could destroy it.
Yeah.
Come down.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Another was built from that.
So to tie it all together, I needed to understand the build degree. I needed to know why God made devil. Oh, I see. Yeah, he's saying to me, those lessons complete the story. Yeah, exactly. They do. Those lessons that come after 31, it's like, because look where it leaves you. Look where 31 leaves you. Right? Tell us how the devil was made. Right? And then what happened? Look at where that leaves you, G. Yeah, that leaves you kind of hanging right there. You kind of like, okay, you've been filled in on certain things, but you kind of at the same spot you was when you got the lessons. You know what I'm saying? What do you do with that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, somebody can tell you right now, like if people say, look, there's a meteorite coming towards the planet. There's nothing that can be done about that right now. Like with the present technology that exists on the planet, there's nothing that you can do about that. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, there's some information that, what would you do with that? You know what I mean? I'm talking about in terms of when you're dealing with mathematics, right? Problem solving. That's one of the first things you got to determine is what's the useless information here and what's the useful information. You know what I mean? That's a whole part of the problem solving right there is figuring that out. You understand what I'm saying? I was, because I found a way to stay on social media and shit. You know what I'm saying? I did. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, they got these, Harvard and Berkeley and some other universities, they got this site called EDX. You know what I'm saying? Where it's free courses on it and shit. You know what I mean? So I fuck with that instead of Clubhouse and shit. You know what I'm saying?
EDX.
Yeah, EDX. You know what I'm saying?
Remind me of Allison too. Get certified first aid.
Yeah. You get all types. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying to say again, it was somehow I was on there right now. I was actually learning this stuff about learning. Like it's just
That's a skill, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's about the skill of learning.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm saying, how all the mechanisms work in your brain and your memory and all of that. You know what I'm saying, how you put the information. You know what I'm saying? But I started doing that a couple of days ago. I gotta get some headphones now because I got black. I got black. Generally speaking, I just use the speaker, but now I got black people out. That's another good thing about it.
This is good.
Hmm?
This is good.
Yeah, it's a couple of them. That's like one of them I got, but they got is Coursera. Coursera comes from some universities too, but they like they've been taken over by some commercial people now. There's Udemy, and then for kids, they got one Khan Academy, where when they go to it, they press what grade they in, and it gives them work.
Yeah, that's a dope one. That was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
That guy got rich with that.
Yeah, I've been dealing with it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But I just never, like before, I just do it, you know what I'm saying, in one day. I just listen to all the videos and shit, you know what I'm saying? But now, it's like, yeah, I be on that Clubhouse shit. And people just be bugging out. Like sometimes, but it's social media. You don't really need to explain.
You know, so that learning to learn is very underrated, and a lot of the public schools is not taught. You're expected to learn on your own. And a lot of the better schools, they teach you to learn. It's a whole different way of processing things and studying everything. That's a really interesting concept.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it was. You know what I'm saying?
Teaching people how to learn.
Yeah. Look, when I got into it and I looked at the syllabus and I was like, damn, all this shit like fucking take you 6 weeks to know how to learn.
But imagine if we had that when we were 8.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just not how it worked.
Yeah. But it's definitely, it's something that I was like, you know, see, because learning is fairly easy for me. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even never really think that, you know, you gotta deal with it formally, you know what I'm saying? But
imagine if you had tools with your natural wisdom already.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's how these guys end up being in Harvard.
Yeah.
Because they already had your natural intelligence and the tools. You see what I'm saying? It's like when we were out hustling and we had other things going on. That's just how it was. But they were molded to learn.
Yeah, I finished these ones.
That's dope though.
I got two I'm doing right now. That when I finish those, I'm gonna do economics.
I actually studied that in school. I didn't like you. That's the economics is the whole.
Yeah.
It's not just money. People think it's money, but it's not. It's really just, it's just the swinging back and forth, ebb and flow of society economics. It's really interesting. You don't like that.
Yeah, it's more of a social science. I do know about that.
It's not a business thing at all. You're gonna like that.
You're
gonna like that. That's really good.
It's like a behavioral science.
Exactly.
Because it's the people still got to interact in the economy for all of that flow to happen. So the shit is a lot dealing with.
Macro, is it macro or micro or just both?
Well, the one that I seen, those is like different parts in the course.
Right, because macro is society in general, and micro will be like a business, like supply and demand chain and stuff like that. But macro is more that you're gonna like them both, man. You're gonna dig that. That's gonna be cool. Economics is dope to study. It's boring as shit. There's a lot of definitions and stuff in there, man. It really, once you're gonna click right away. I was young when I did it. I didn't really care. It's gonna hit you. That's gonna be dope. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that.
She said, all right. Joseph said he took courses there when he was in grad school to supplement my credited course. All right. But yeah, so, you know, keeps you busy.
Yeah, it is better.
It's better. You know what I'm saying?
Cinnamon love.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you know, I'm a college boy again.
It's dope. Yeah, man.
Abdul Rahman said it was 98 degrees today. Global warming is real. I mean, you know, look, it used to be 98 degrees. You know, to me, it seems like the seasons have shifted or something. Like everything is like winter starts like towards the end of January, February, yes. You know what I'm saying? And it's the intense part of winter is shorter. Winter started back in the days after Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It was snowing Thanksgiving.
It was snowed in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to dream about a white Christmas. Right. You know what I'm saying?
It was gonna snow.
You know what I'm saying? But in recent times, and the summer too, to me, the summer really just got started. Like this used to be 4th of July. We used to see 98. It wasn't like that this year.
You know what it's hotter? MAGA headquarters since they kicked in that new door.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know what's going on, man. They really after Trump.
They mad too. Now all of a sudden defund the FBI and everything else. Man, now blue lives don't matter no more.
Well,
it's funny dudes, man. Funny people, man.
Somehow or another, right now, chaos that's all around us. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what I realized that like in the 90s when the Bill Clinton thing came out was that it's so many channels out there now, right? So many news organizations and everything that you can't, like years ago, something like that, they would just call up Dan Walter Cronkite.
Don't say that.
Dan Rather, you know what I mean? They would call up like 2 or 3 people and said, look, we need to keep that. We gotta have the office, gotta have some dignity. Right. Yes, yeah, so
that's because they had 3 sharks.
Yeah.
And look, they got a freedom friend.
And look, they all knew each other. You know what I mean? We all, we drink at the bar and all that. So we just tell you, yeah, like,
now it's a Shark Tank.
Yeah, now they just come out with anything. You know what I'm saying? Where there's no, there's something about, and, this is retarded, right? But there's something about when, you got a leader that's undignified. You know what I'm saying? When, people are just taking shots. It's
terrible.
You know what I'm saying?
They got a judge that's on a warrant on an ex-president. Somebody ratted him out. You know that. Because they know the stuff's there before they sign the warrant.
Yeah, but see, it's like I said yesterday, though. I'm gonna tell you like this. I personally, you know what I mean? I'm like, look, and don't get me wrong. I know this is spoken, from the mindset of somebody who I've never gotten along with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm the same way.
But look, you've been investigating for 5-6 years now, G. The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, you know what I'm saying? The NYPD. Like, dude, you don't got a case. Like, you done arrested old people in their house, dragged them out. You know what I'm saying? You didn't convicted the lawyer. Like, that's what they do. When they can't get the person, then they start trying to pressure people around the person. None of that work, B. You know what I'm saying? Like, either he's way smarter than y'all telling us. You know what I mean? If he's able to thwart all these fucking agencies, not that he was under the radar all this time. Like, no, y'all was zoomed in on him. He's public enemy #1. And y'all still ain't got that, B? Come on, say. Come on. Like, look, they can investigate anybody that long and find something. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And in the meantime, it's like your investigation is turning up criminal activity from all these other people, and you ain't saying that. No. So you still locked in on this one person. It's like, listen, man, you gotta stop. But for me, look, it's white on white crime.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
the white people get passed for that.
I look at it from the outside. Really. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just funny to me. But we see what happens. The only issue is that, look, at the end of the day, we all on the ship. See what I'm saying? So if the white people take it, you know what I'm saying? We all going down. So that's why, we gotta watch them. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep them.
They already sold this country out.
We gotta keep them away from the matches.
Politically wise. They take it as far as the political, this country's done.
Listen, man, whatever happens, I'm just telling you.
Russia, China.
Listen, I just look. That's what I'm telling you. That look, when right now, right? Let's say we right here by the ocean, right? Let's say some foreign ships pull into the harbor right here at the end of the pier down there on 125th Street, right? And just announced that, listen, we about to come on the land and beat everybody speak English in their head. I'm in the Marines right there. Listen. I'm a Ranger. I'm Navy SEAL. You see what I'm saying? Because that includes me. That's the, we the 5% on this poor part of the planet Earth. You understand what I'm saying? So, I have to defend myself, right? And look, there's probably be a lot of white people that benefit from that, but so be it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not of that nature, right, where I would gladly sacrifice my life for some white people to die. That's not my style. You know what I mean? They'll make it into the hereafter with me for right now. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Friend of my friend. Yeah. My enemy is my friend.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I don't play like that.
Just see how I feel.
Nice to meet y'all. Peace. Nice meeting you, man. Peace as usual, man. As usual. Peace. All right.
Born Saladin, peace. They said the sun has moved further from the earth. I heard some kind of term, but I didn't really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? You gotta realize that a lot of these things, you gotta read into these stories too. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a course on that, how to read these studies. But
really?
Yeah. But see, they could say that it's a little bit further away, right? But it's also dealing with, you're dealing with cycles that's thousands, tens of thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? So a little fluctuation that you see right now, and then you like, the world is coming to an end and shit. It's like, it's just. So sometimes you got to read into it to see the total of what it's saying. Like now I hear some controversy. I didn't read into it, but they got a new telescope out there, right? So the dude who's one of the scientists that's in charge of it, he did a hoax and put on his Twitter some hoax pictures, right? And then it was discovered to be a hoax. So people was coming out like, yo, why would you do that? And then his excuse was, it's just to show people not to pay attention to anything and shit. And like, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not expecting to learn that lesson from you fucking put in charge of giving us the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we hired you to do that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
How much fake shit up?
Yeah.
Other fake shit.
Bang. So now that's where the spark. That's where the spark. Where people is like, "Hi, well, how we know any of the stuff now is real?" You understand what I'm saying? So now they questioning all of the stuff that's coming from the telescope. So you gotta read into these what's the names. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you'll read into it and it'll tell you at the end, we got this information from, it was only 35 people and, they was all recommended, like, so the particular people that's in the situation, you know what I'm saying? Like it might be 10 people out of 100, but those 10 people all have the problem, right? And then we, the 10 people that talk to you, 100% of the people that you spoke to have the problem. You know what I mean? So when you report back and you say, yo, we did a survey and 100% of the people have this problem, you know, but yeah, you only surveyed 10 people out of the 100. Yes. Then right. But see,
ask questions about fat people.
See, right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly
Yeah. So now you don't got the right controls in there to really get no real information in.
Trying to gear it more toward
That's right. So that's why they say, you know, listen, that's one of the first things you got to do when you see these studies, right? Is who paid for it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're supposed to have a control group and a test group.
Right. You know what I mean?
Listen, we're not paying for it. Y'all have a million people. So just ask like 5 and we'll be good.
Because, you know, that's a whole science right there where, you know, that's one of the like, you know, you got the sports program, and then you got the other places like MIT and Harvard and all of that. They got a lot of rich people going there, right? But a lot of their money comes from those research.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now, if you get in the money now, it depends, right? You might get it from the government. So then they just like, look, you know, it's gotta be just equal, right? But then you might get the money from the Koch brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if this thing say a certain thing, guess what? We cutting this money off. You know what I'm saying? Right. You start giving us research that say opposite of what we want. So they got an incentive to produce studies that say what the people want to say.
I would say any study that comes from the 10%, you can't believe.
It's hard to believe.
You just got to read it as being from the 10%. And the schools might even fall into that.
What's going on? What's going on in here?
You gotta link up.
No doubt.
You gotta do something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, after the book bag drive, that's what I said I'm going on.
You going on vacation, right?
Yeah.
When's that?
The book bag drive is on the 27th.
Oh, see you here for the rest of the month.
Yeah, for the rest of the month.
I'll see you.
No doubt. I'm gonna be around. I ain't going all that far.
There's abortion in schools.
All right, bet. Fantastic. So water has eaten up certain areas. Yeah, catch up where they are right there. Said stock up on free mass at CVS. Is that what you predicted? That you know, I don't know. I mean, they definitely lining everything up.
Again,
You know, it's like you know, just in terms of the type of games that they playing, right? You know what I'm saying, with people's minds. You know what I'm saying, in particular.
They're gonna come out with a new strain. That's what they're gonna say. Another strain is coming out.
Well, that's what they already said. They said that it's a new one and is resistant to the vaccine. That's already out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that, you know, to me, yeah, they line it up. And then it's also one of them things, right, where you know, get back to what I was saying in terms of the chaos that's around us, right? It's not as easy to get people to respond, right, to non-emergency situations. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, to get people to react the way they reacted in the lockdown and everything. You know what I mean? To get people to comply with all the things they comply with. You know what I'm saying? you need these emergency situations. You know what I mean? So whether it's the cold red and orange, you know what I'm saying, you know, when it was at the World Trade Center. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's always cold this and yo, we just got this word, so the cold went out. Yes, and I mean, you know, once upon a time, it was you know, you had kind of lines, the political lines, pretty much, you know, America and Russia. You know what I'm saying? So Russia and the threat of the bomb and everything, you know, things like that, people responded to that. You know what I'm saying? But now that, you know, the lines is not as clear, you know,
It has something to do with the Berlin Wall. Came down, the Berlin Wall.
right, when that came down, so that kind of lost, you know what I'm saying? Like even right now, you know about NATO?
A little bit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's some World War II shit. That's what I'm saying.
Out, right?
Huh?
Russia not kicked out.
Nah, Russia, see, after World War II, they formed two political alliances, right? NATO, I think was it the North Atlantic Treaty Organization or some shit like that. And Russia had the Warsaw Pact, because I think they made the deal in Warsaw, Poland, or whatever the case may be. They had the Warsaw Pact. And so, like you said, you had East and West Germany. So West Germany is down with America, East Germany is down with Russia. And, you know, in Europe in general, they called it the Iron Curtain. Where,
well, that's what I mean.
yeah, where, you know, on this side, you know, mostly Eastern Europe, you had all the countries that was down with Russia, and in Western Europe, you had all the countries that was down with America. So like you said, when the Berlin Wall fell, right, that took away the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And it's actually, now this is trivia, right? But you can see it in the movies. Like if you look at movies before the Berlin Wall, right? The villains in movies, a lot of times is the Russians. You know what I'm saying? Or the Germans, you know, and they speak with those types of accents. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, even in the cartoons, you know what I'm saying? You know, the villains kind of have that. You know what I'm saying? You know, after that, you know, it starts being different kinds of villains. You know, so you know, that's one of the things that we see going on right now around us, kind of chaos with all this different you know, like wars and shit. That's what some of that is about, is that when you hear about the military industrial complex, right? You know, NATO is like one of the money makers for them. You understand what I'm saying? So without no enemies, there's no need to be making all these weapons and all this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so when they like, yo, we're putting all these shit, all these missiles here and there. So, you know, all of that is part of the game.
So is chaos and confusion the same thing, or two separate weaponized tools?
That's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, yeah, it's different because you can be confused without it being chaos. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, in terms of, you know, the chaos is meant to cause confusion.
So like a cause and effect.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
But how would they even get people to get to that level where they were like hysterical during quarantine? Because it's like a lot of people are like, no, I don't really need to wear that mask, or oh, you see the president, they said he done got like the booster shots and he still got COVID twice. So why am I gonna go get the shot? Or like what would be the incentive for somebody the real incentive for somebody to get back in that headspace again. How would they get people to get upset in that way when people already dealt with the initial burst of hysteria?
Which said, say it.
Like when it first came out, everybody was like, "Oh damn!" Like I don't know how it's going to affect them because every day on the news, like there was a ticker like, "Oh, this person died. There's 500," and then in this area, it's another outbreak, and everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Like they didn't know what to do, and then everybody just knew like, "Oh, came from China, and then it's coming over here," and then people didn't know how to protect themselves, and then everything was flying off the shelf. And then now you have it like, okay, people are like in the middle of like, I'm upset, I'm impressed, I don't know what to do, I'm still going on with my life, but I hear it's still out there, but at the same time, I'm not scared because I already know it.
Oh yeah, they got to keep ramping up the hysteria. So like you said, now they got to come out with a new strain that is not what's in it. See, you know where I ain't gonna say that's where it began at, but at one time they used to well, at least in my class, we learned about something about mind control in school and shit. You know what I mean? Not like they was teaching us mind control, but you ever heard of War of the Worlds? It was a dude, what's this dude's name? Whatever his name is, right? He had a radio broadcast, right? This is before TV. And in the radio broadcast, like he's broadcasting this shit, I guess like a news story, right? And it's saying that aliens is attacking the planet right now. Like it's giving like how you saying like we watching the news, right? And it's telling us, yo, these people is catching it. Yo, the news is the supermarket is empty. Yo, this is closed, that's closed. You know what I'm saying? But as they watching it, as they listen to it, rather, it's saying that yo, these ships is coming in and blowing shit up and everything, and people is panicking and shit. You know what I'm saying? They calling it like it causes mass hysteria and shit. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, that was one of the major things that happened over time that proved that, you know, things that they can put on there, they can control people's emotions. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, emotions, you know, it motivates people. Emotions motivate people. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, fear, you know what I'm saying? The promise of love, you know what I'm saying? All these is things that they put out there to control the people. You see what I mean? Which is another reason why, you know, the 5%, we teach not to let your emotions supersede your intelligence. You understand what I mean? Because see, these things, it's not whether they true or not. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, you know, it's not to say that, you know, that there's not a virus out there, right? But it's just to say that, okay, how is the existence of that being used? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, right. Yes, and I mean that exists. Like they had a dude who used to work for Obama, and he had a saying. He said one time, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." You understand what I'm saying? So it's like something can happen, right? And it's fucked up, but we gotta find a way to parlay this, right?
So we look good on the other side of it.
And we benefit and profit. You see what I'm saying? So
that's basically the basis of politics, isn't it? Like when politicians are saying all that. They look for a crisis so they can quote unquote pass a bill that here you know they're the solution, and they want people to vote for them to be the solution, like mayors and governors and stuff like that, the cities.
see that's how politics in America runs, right? But that's really cronyism. Politics is really how you allocate resources in lieu of war. See what I'm saying? Like we can come together, right, and work this out, you know, with our minds. You see what I mean? Over, you know, like we all need our cows to graze, right? And there's one hill that's grassy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what time our cows come or what part of the what's the name, see we work that out, that's politics. See what I'm saying? Now, what you saying, that comes into play, right? When, you know, all right, let's say we the first 10 people on the hill, right? So then now when the 11th person comes, now we got our crony shit going. So we're gonna vote for him to get a much smaller part than what we got. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but you know, yeah, in America, it's hard to distinguish because it's all the same people. See, Shot Queen is she, yeah, I can't read Shot Queen's comments. They'll put her on here on this video. I'm surprised I got a channel. The other day I was talking kind of loose on it. What was that when the I think that was when the when the dude had the on Airbnb, they had the slave quarters where you could rent the slave quarters.
I saw it. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
And they allowed that. People was making reviews and shit.
Yeah, but my thing is, right, you know, where's all the people that's screaming for the statues to be taken down?
But they was staying at the quarters.
Huh?
I said, but they was probably staying at the quarters.
Yeah, I said, yeah, how is it so important to you that you tear down the statues because of the memories, but you leave it in the slave quarters too?
And you know what's crazy? People like to chalk it up to historical landmarks. And there's nothing historical landmark about a trauma, like about oppression of a people. I don't understand why would, like they like to, it's like, you know, like put a band-aid over it and say like that's why I keep it, or because you gotta remember and all the way to memory, you gotta be able to see it. And it's like,
well, I think that is the case for Black people. You know, maybe it's us as individuals, but see, we real quick to forget.
but why? But it's constantly in our face 24/7 and we forget.
Yeah, but see, it's you know, you only have to give people a little something, right, to make them feel like their situation is better. Like, look, I tell you another thing, right? This is a little bit tricky, right? But it got something to do with what we're talking about with mind control, right? We're controlling people. If you ever notice that whenever you see like a poor country, right? And you see they top military people, they got like 8,000 badges on them. That's all they gotta give them. They ain't gotta give them money. See, just that right there, that status, that extra stripe, that's all you gotta give some people. They don't have to, you don't have to actually produce nothing. Like, look, even, most of the stuff between black people and white people in America, that's what it is. You see what I mean? They gave the poor white people a little bit of status. They ain't give them no money. I mean, over time, but I'm saying originally, that's what just a little bit of status. That's what that's about. You understand what I'm saying? So it works in America where they say that, okay, it's not like in England, right? Like in England, you're either born to the royal family or you're not.
So that would make everybody else poor because you're not part of the royals or the bloodline.
You a commoner. And so whatever, if you don't, get rich or whatever, it's not the same thing as in America and shit. You know what I mean? It's not in particular like you a loser. You know what I mean? You just a commoner. That was your place in life, unless it was something unique about you. You play soccer or play instruments or something like that. You could be the Beatles. But even the Beatles, right? You're not royalty. You don't rub elbows with Prince Charles. You understand what I'm saying? You got to do something exceptional, and then the night you'd be knighted, where they put the sword over your head.
And that's validation for people.
Yeah. And that's all.
Validation.
Like, look, say, look at people for alike, from anonymous people that you don't even know, right? Look at what people do. You see what I'm saying? So, saying all that to say is that you confer a little bit of status, right, on people, even in a situation where they're being oppressed, and they good with that.
That makes sense. I remember before they canceled the Steve Harvey show, there's a white woman in the audience. She asked him a question. She said, I was having a conversation and somebody asked me about slavery and I don't really know how to deal with that or answer it. And he was like, just tell them you don't want to talk about it and forget about slavery. I was like, what? Like, I'm looking at him like, why would you say that? Like, to predominantly privileged audience, and you telling her, don't worry about it. And this is something that has oppressed you. But because you're sitting on the stage right now and have your own quote unquote show that gave it to you and canceled, you telling her, don't talk about slavery. And that it's okay. Not to even acknowledge it.
Well,
that's crazy.
My answer to that is generally just to ask, well, why we gotta learn about Christopher Columbus? To my knowledge, we had to learn about Christopher Columbus because, even though he existed, 500-600 years ago, things that he did had an impact on what's going on now. Other than that, why are we learning about Greece? Why are we learning about Rome and all these other things? Why does it count for us to learn about things that happened 2,000 years ago, but we can't learn about things that happened 150 years ago? You're going to tell me nobody's alive. Nobody's alive that fought the Revolutionary War, but that don't stop you from living here, right? Exactly. Under the basis that that's what happened. So if that was important in 1776, how are you going to tell me that something that happened in 1865 is not important? And then we being lenient to say that it ended in 1865. So that's my seat. Being in New York, right? I've been I've been in these conversations with all kinds of people. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, you've mostly spoken about the science of the 5%, whatever it is that we teach, right? With other people, that's 5%. You know what I'm saying? Or other people, but I talk to all types, Italian people, Jewish people, whatever, all they different, ideas about society. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I got a certain group of people, I call them the Ellis Island crew, right? Where their point of view is, these are a lot of people who their family came to America after 1865, right? And so their point of view is, my family never owned any slaves. You know what I'm saying? There was no slavery when we got here. So why do I have to be, why do I have to hear about that? You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, you receive stolen property.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? When you came here, right, you came here for prosperity, right? And
Off the back of who?
And what that prosperity was the difference between the free labor you was getting and the profit that you was making off that free labor.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So,
and for you not to acknowledge it, it's like, what?
Well, I mean, it's not that they all don't acknowledge it. You got to remember, they don't know they history. They don't know most of them. They under the impression they came here on the Mayflower. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or just in terms of what was America's plan when they opened up immigration and allowed all those people in there. You understand what I'm saying? They just look at it as, just some triumphant story of their family member coming to New York. You know what I'm saying? And, going to Ellis Island, working hard, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. And, now the kids all over middle America. Yeah, but I mean, it's one of them things where, look, we got a lesson that says, that at the hands of the 10%, right, we suffer from hard times, hunger, nakedness, out of doors, and also being beaten and killed by the ones that advocate the mystery God. Right?
Yeah.
Times gotta get harder. People gotta get hungry. And that's the bottom line right there. You know what I'm saying?
What type of hunger are you talking about? Are you talking about a spiritual starvation? Are you talking about
it could be that. It could be that.
Starvation. I feel like you got hit from both points.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's still enough of an illusion. Like, see, all of that can happen, right? And you can watch all of that on the news, but as long as you're watching it with your, whatever shades on, your Gucci lenses and shit, you know what I mean? It's all good. You see what I'm saying? Now, once that illusion melts away, where people see that, all right, your back is against the wall, then you see people start to react like that. But like I said, look, is people on the slave plantation. That look, Harriet Tubman was right there. All you had to do is go with her, man. Listen, they not only didn't go, they told.
Exactly, because if she really had like a whole few force, she only was able to take 300 when it was more than that, and it was like 10,000 million. She was only able to take a select few.
Yeah, because those are the only ones that was ready to go.
But that makes no sense to me. This person is oppressing you, giving you a book that says this is okay for me to oppress you.
You gotta understand, man, that these people have studied the science. When say telling lies still and trying to master the original man, They didn't study all these sciences down to the colors of shit that they do. Like when you see the police lights, that's some shit that they study. That the red light hype you up, and the blue light calms you down.
You sitting there having a seizure.
Huh?
You sit there having a seizure.
Yeah, that it confuses you real quick. And in that second that you freeze, that's when they can attack you. They've studied that. You understand what I'm saying? When they come up to you, why do you think every police officer say the same thing? Because they've studied how people respond to what they do. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's different. Like, I recently read about this right here, that Stalin supposedly he took a chicken, right? And ripped all the feathers out of the chicken while it was alive and shit. Right? And then a couple of seconds later, he pulled out some grain and the chicken came over and started eating out of his hand.
What?
I'm just saying that I didn't research other sources to see if the story was true or not, but I'm just saying that
they treat us like a chicken.
That's what's happening. But see, that's a normal abusive relationship though. Like you see that where a child could be being abused, right? But then these same people also feed them. You know what I'm saying? They also buy them clothes, they're not getting beat up every second of the day, right? So, they may get in a situation where somebody asks them, yo, is everything all right? And they'll protect the person that's abusing you. You see what I'm saying? So, that's why you gotta have not the self, man, because, that's where everything is going on right now. That's what they figured out, is that the best way to make you buy something is to control your mind.
So basically, we in an ancestral trauma bomb.
Ooh.
Like some people like that basically keep going back and feeding into the illusional beast. Like they so used to it that they don't see nothing else beside it.
They love the devil because the devil gives them nothing. Listen, there's no end, right, to.
There's no end to the illusion.
Not just to the illusion, but just to the, at least to me, that I've learned over the years, right? Things that I read about that was just like, yeah, this is mind control. Like, look, you have people, right, that stood behind on the plantation after slavery. It was people that they didn't want to leave Massa in his time of need. And you gotta stay and help Massa out. You know what I'm saying? He fucked up right now, whatever happened. We cats up there from the north. They tried to destroy our way of life, man, and Massa got caught up in it, man. He need us in mind now more than ever. You know what I'm saying? You can't,
Supposed to slice and never let you leave.
Listen, B, that's why we out here. That's why we out here trying to teach them. You see what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Get it. You learn what you learn, you get what you get. It counts. Stay comfortable in that burning house. It's gonna burn you to the ground.
793rd said years, months, and days of animal behavioral science. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's when we learned. Yeah, when we was learning the stuff about the mind, that's the term. Is the behavioral sciences. You know what I mean? So the science with Pavlov, you know what I'm saying? All of that, we learn all of that stuff together. You know what I'm saying? We gotta learn about MK Ultra too when I was in school. But yeah. But see, look, they do that. Over time, they gotta snatch certain shit out.
Yeah.
See, listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
We learned about clones.
I have an opinion. I'm not down with them and I don't see the secret memos, but there's something that changed. There's something that changed after the Rodney King riots. In the O.J. Simpson trial, where I think they realized that it's like, okay, like, see, for instance, right? Remember when it was the protest for George Floyd, right? Yeah. And there was, this kind of drive to figure out who are those people out there. You know what I mean? Are they actors? Are they Black Lives Matter? Are they local people? You know what I'm saying? Who are these people, right? And I think when the Rodney King thing happened, and they looked out there and they was like, who are those people? They was like, yo, those little kids that watch Roots. Those are little kids. Those are the kids that they saw that shit in their formative years, man. And now they out here ready to hurt us, right? We got to change that shit. That music they listen to, that Public Enemy, get that shit the fuck out of here. Yeah, now we can't. Now we understand what they were saying. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, that's how we told you.
And shit started changing, right? And one of the things that happened is start giving niggas money and status. Like before that happened, like back in the days, we used to get sports cards for athletes, right? Yeah. On the back of the card, it would tell you what their job was in the off season. Yeah, because only the most high superstars was making enough money to last for the whole year. See what I'm saying? But after that shit, next thing people start getting crazy money. Like LeBron James make, like in one season, with Michael Jordan makes his whole career. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Before that, rappers was wearing these patches with Africa on it. After that, everybody's rocking Jesus pieces. See what I'm saying? And the kind of society that we existed in at that time, you don't see it now. It's the cultural shift. The cultural shift was tremendous after that. To me, that was the, maybe it was other things, but I'm saying that's when I took note that, shit is different now.
But how do we get from, let's say, how do we get from Public Enemy and like Queen Latifah, you and Auntie Walk to let's say Young Thug and Social, Chief Keef, like drill music? Like where's the gap between like the consciousness of like, let's raise consciousness, rap consciousness, let's figure out what's going on with us spiritually, to fuck up, shoot this nigga, like where do we get?
Those people wasn't allowed to be heroes before. It wasn't, like you wasn't going to see, Sammy Davis Jr. and, any one of the guys you just named. You know what I'm saying? Those people wasn't, it was more the Chris Rock types. You know what I'm saying? People that it's like they already knew that, that was Chris Rock's character. Like, I'm not gonna get in a fight with you. You know what I'm saying? If they thought that he had that in him, they never would have let him be in the Oscars. You understand what I'm saying? So you just didn't see, or if you did, right? that wasn't a part of what they was expressing. You know what I'm saying? Like Barry White was a gang member. You know what I'm saying? Before before he was in the gang that they used to run the area where the Crips was and all that before like some of the Barry White, say Barry White been in jail and all that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that would be something that you know, he gonna put on there. You know what I mean? James Brown used to bust his gun. James Brown's hardcore. Like, look, James Brown has had cases where he had to pay money for shooting. But you're not going to be talking about that and get on Johnny Carson. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be talking like that and, you know what I'm saying, get the level of fame that
How was
people
they
get
even to able to have that and have that like type of career, because you had them and then you had the Larry Hoovers and
people have respect and decency then. See, like right now, people feel like, yo, in order to connect with people, you need to tell them all your business or all the fucked up shit about you. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's a part of like people like that's part of the whole premise of that that hip hop, you know, people love the hip hop and people supposed to be making a comeback or whatever, and then they tell you all this fucked up news and shit. You see what I mean? You know, that didn't happen. Like I'm just saying, there was no women, right, that had any kind of fame, that had no sex tapes out. Like that just wasn't going to happen. It was not going to start from no sex tape and become the number one social whatever, you know what I'm saying, and you know, on the media and shit. You see what I'm saying? So they started allowing those other people to be heroes. You know what I'm saying? They started, you know, I mean, to the point where, you know, the bad guy don't even get killed at the end no more. Really.
they were changing the culture. They was like making bad good, good bad, or something like that.
Yeah, and they put money in it, right? To where, you know, negativity is like a brand name. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
itself, man.
Yeah, like every black gang is a national brand. You know what I'm saying? Like it's difficult right now for a new artist to make it in hip hop without being in a gang. I would say it is very impossible for a female MC to make it without having no stripping, not even sex and stripping. She's you know what I'm saying? There was, you know, before there was artists that had sex appeal, but now it's just, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's a brand, you know what I'm saying? To be a you know a stripping rapper, you know what I'm saying?
It is. Now
It is,
everywhere.
you know, yeah, that's a brand. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, that's just something that even if you talk about blaxploitation, you know, it's still it wasn't, at least not to me. You know, I could be biased, but to me, it reached a whole other level.
So let me ask you something. If that's the case, okay, so you know how you said gangs is becoming a brand. It's like now it's like something like people like advertising that it's cool to talk about as far as like bodies and stuff. Then why they was trying to headhunt so-called original gang members like to be Williams or not, or like, you know, like what was the point in doing that? Like, you know, like not exonerating them or just if that was their agenda, what was that point? Because at that point, it's like before he got passed, he was actually trying to reach out to the kids and tell them to be wrong. And he made writing books and stuff, and then trying to turn his life around. But now I'm trying to feel like, what about it? Like, where did we go from like from the 80s and 90s to now to all the quote unquote, they said the damage from all that as far as crack and all that stuff from that to now it's turning the crackers become our music. Where did the lines get all skewed? And because it's like, oh yeah, this is bad, don't do this, but then I'm doing it in the background, or I'm showing it, but I'm showing you one thing, but I'm telling you not to do it. Like I'm telling you, don't get involved in games, but yet I'm living that lifestyle, and I'm showing you I'll get money by it. And then the kids is looking at not what you saying, but what you showing, and then or listening to your lyrics and be like, you doing what you say with lyrics. Like it's kind of like the Future was saying, like, oh, I've been stopped sipping a long time ago. And they was like, well, why didn't you tell me? Because that's when you started rapping, that's when I started sipping. So now you stopped.
That's like a couple of different questions.
Peace. It makes no sense. It's like a revolving door, but then it's like a pattern that kind of keeps repeating itself, but like in a different form.
But I'm saying now, from which perspective you say how did we get into that?
Like how did we get into it, and then how did we allow them to make money? You know what I'm saying? Because like that market that sells, but yeah, it's like we buy into it and then sign the contracts, and then sell it to whoever wants to listen.
Well, see, in terms of hip hop, right?
Yeah. Like how did it become a lifestyle? Like it went into music, then it became a lifestyle. Like, you know.
No, it's the other way. Yeah. That's another thing that people be doing, right? And again, I could be biased, right? But another thing that people do, right, is they blame hip hop for this change. In reality, hip hop was a casualty in this change. You see what I'm saying? See, when you talk about Tookie Williams, right?
Yeah.
Tookie Williams never committed a crime to hip hop music. Was no hip hop when he went to jail. And especially in LA, they listen to Al Green. They was listening to that same fucking love music that all the people be saying, oh, we was listening to. Nah, nigga, that's what the Crips got started to. So that's 1969. How you blaming hip hop, you know what I'm saying, for that? You know, especially when, like I said, hip hop is not out there until when? I'm sure we got some people here from LA. I died base hearing hip hop before 81, 82. When the heat is already on. See what I'm saying? Same thing in Chicago. They're doing that. They're sliding to Shaka Khan and Rufus. And in reality, that didn't, where hip hop is from, hip hop didn't spawn no gang culture.
So where did that come from, that idea?
Is that when hip hop became a national thing, right? It was something that everybody was talking about their situation where they was from. You know what I'm saying? Like that's hip hop. You know what I mean? It's like country music. They tell their story of their farm and their horse. You know what I'm saying? People in hip hop tell their story of their city and their block. You know what I'm saying? So when they got to LA and Chicago and all these other places, that was what was going on around them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they knew about. What they going to rhyme about what we doing in New York and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, niggas out there ain't feeling that. So it came into hip hop like that. But it was just that at one time, like when that stuff first came in, it was all other artists. So it was just mixed in as one small part of the hip hop world. There was gangster rappers. You see what I'm saying? But now the whole shit is gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Like even back in the days, look, you had two Roxannes. You had the real Roxanne and you had Roxanne Shante, right? Now, Roxanne Shante, battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? She's taking heads off. You know what I'm saying? The whole Queensbridge respect her as like the whoever's the nicest MCs you could think of Queensbridge. Saying she put them on. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the real Roxanne. Couldn't rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Look good though.
I didn't know what still. I only know about Shantae.
Yeah, right. Because the other one, that's all she was. She was just eye candy. She didn't have no good rhymes. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. They both was out there though. You know what I mean? At that time, it was room in hip hop for both of them. You see what I'm saying? You had, Big Daddy Kane, where, he talking some rough and tough shit, but he's down with Biz Markie. You know what I'm saying? Who's like the clown prince of hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? You can't have a Biz Markie. Yeah.
You don't think you could have clown rap? Like a joke comedy?
Well, they got that white dude, Lil Dicky, but, nah. That's what
This was also stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that can happen. There's a lot. Listen, I don't think MC Light can make it to them.
Yeah.
Like people that I'm not saying because of their talent, like they not good enough. I'm just saying that the way the market is, right, is that the mainstream is a slim sliver of society. You know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't fit in now. You know what I'm saying? How we judging? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Meg Thee Stallion and MC Light in the same, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they can't go in the same box.
Yeah, it's crazy that you say that, but it's true because all of like the female rap that just cater to sexuality and stripping and like the ways in which she does and pertaining to sex, but you don't really hear about certain stories about like like MC Light was talking about or Queen Latifah was saying, "Don't be calling me a bitch," and how she described the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, like I would like to hear more. Lauryn Hill, I would like to hear more stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying it's out there because I've heard a lot of like Rhapsody. I like her music. I like other female rapper. No name. They talk about different subjects, but as far as mainstream, that's what's being brought out. And it's like, wait, hold on. I know there's other stories out there that could be talked about. It's just they don't think it's marketable, I guess.
But see, I would say another thing too, right? Is and this is at the end of the day, right? The person that's doing mind control on you, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna stop.
Nope.
Like see, here's what I'm telling you, right? The person who's the cause of something, right,
Mm-hmm.
is actually maybe only 40% of the time, right, even capable of being responsible for fixing it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like right now, if the lion trainer at the zoo fucks up and leaves the cage open, right? And the lion is running down the street. Somebody else let that lion out. It's my responsibility not to get it up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's our responsibility, right, not to allow that stuff to be lucrative for them. Like at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. That you remember John Singleton?
Mhm.
He makes Boys in the Hood. They fill the stadium up, make stars of everybody in the movie. You know what I'm saying? He makes Rosewood. And you know what I'm saying? Now look, I know it wasn't in all the movie theaters, but what I'm saying is, look, they had you know about Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
And he made this movie called The Passion of the Christ. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And they were saying that, yo, the movie was anti-Semitic and he had all types of other stuff where he had been canceled in Hollywood. But when he made that movie, right, the Christians, they organized bus rides. If it wasn't showing A-Town, they met at the church, had a bus ride and went to the and they made that movie for one of the top movies of all time. You understand what I'm saying? See, you gotta look at that. Like at the end of the day, I'm saying that look, the person may not even be malicious about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you listen to a black person, right, who may be in the industry, that's what he's gonna tell you that, yo, look, this is what sells. Like this is what when I throw this shit on at the party, when I play this song at the party, this song don't get people jumping. This song does. You understand what I mean? And that's what I get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's our responsibility. You know what I mean? That we still respond to this stuff. You know, we still curious about, you know, people when somebody got shot in 1982. You know what I'm saying? And now we all tuned in, 1 million viewers, you know what I'm saying? Because this nigga saying he did it. You understand what I mean? Or somebody's telling the story of, you know, somebody who's supposed to did that. We still curious about that. You understand what I mean? We can still tell you the story of every gangster that been in this neighborhood. Rather, this person could have got killed before we was even born. You understand what I'm saying? You know, there's people right, look, Bumpy Johnson.
Yeah.
Died before I was even born. If I can tell you all about Bumpy Johnson, how many people can tell you the same amount about Arthur Schomburg's life? You see what I'm saying? So that's where we at with it. See, they don't allow that in the what's in it. See, you're not going to know more about Bugsy Siegel or Lucky Luciano than George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. You understand what I'm saying? And some of that is, look, that's what's happening, but you just got to see the mind control. Is that these are the people that they elevate amongst us. Meaning, all we got to do is put a microphone in front of this person. Not saying that the person don't know what they're talking about, but look, if you get paid to play basketball, right? I don't necessarily know if I need to be, you know, hearing your political analysis. You understand what I'm saying? Other communities, and this is something that goes back. You know, Malcolm X talks about that. That other communities is not led by actors and athletes. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we don't have, and you starting to get some now. You got like Neil deGrasse Tyson, his name is out there, right? But as Black people, we don't know who our Einsteins are, and they do exist. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we know that a Black man invented blood transfusion, all the type of stuff. I can't think of his name on top of my head. You understand what I'm saying? I even looked at that. I looked at, there was a list where they was talking about who's the richest Black people, right? And only, I think 2 of them wasn't connected to entertainment.
Was it connected to science and technology?
One dude was like in banking, and one dude was in some other kind of business. But it was like Oprah, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Dr. Dre, all these people is connected to entertainment. LeBron, it's all, you see what I'm saying? Now look at the top of the list of white people, right? They're people that is doing the things that's moving and shaking the world. Being that right now, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm not, whoever's the fans of whatever, but I'm saying if any one of those people never make another album, it's not going to change that. You understand what I'm saying? But those people at the top, like right now, we on YouTube, right? That's one of the people that's up there at the top of the white people. You see what I'm saying? They facilitating things that, at least they convince people that they need. You understand what I'm saying? Not, makeup and all this stuff. And listen, however you make it, that's how you make it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you do it. Right? But I'm just saying that this is more pipe dream stuff, right? Because everybody don't have the charisma that Oprah has to have a show like that, right? And attract the audience that she attracted. See, that's the thing. That audience that she attracted, that's why she gets so much money.
You probably never see that again.
You see what I'm saying? Not everybody is going to be able to run like Jay-Z. Everybody's not going to produce like Dr. Dre. You see what I'm saying? But see, the dude that's a banker, right? Not everybody's going to be good enough for that, but a much greater percentage of people. You see what I mean? See, like I was saying with that course, but see, you can learn how to learn better. You know what I mean? It may take you a little bit more time to get the math down pat that you need to go into that industry, right? But that's different, right? From you, that's something naturally in Dr. Dre's ears, the way he hears sound, right? That he's able to craft it in a certain particular way. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is not going to have that. So, that's one of the things that, like you said, like I said, now these are the people that's been made the heroes, right? So that's what all the people want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you see people being successful at, right? Like at one time, all the brothers wanted to go in the army because that was, a quick, easy way to get on your feet. You know what I'm saying? Especially people, you from small towns where there ain't really nothing else to do here but sharecrop. Go in the army. You know what I'm saying? Whatever skill you get in there, when you come out, now you gotta get it. Yeah, nah, that's all understandable, right? But now look,
But they're looking at it as a way out.
This is something we're dealing with time right now, right? We're dealing with time. Is that see? That's why I said once upon a time, right? Because see, now we're in a different world. It's like when I was growing up, there was no wars. And that's how they used to sell it to us to go into the army. They used to say, listen, America only got one enemy, it's Russia. And if America and Russia have a war, it's going to be a nuclear war. Since nobody wants to have a nuclear war, it's not going to be no war, so you don't got to worry about it. And they used to show me pictures of like Southeast Asia. And these motherfuckers after me. They used to show me pictures of the Philippines and Hawaii and stuff like that. And say, look, this is where you're going to be at right here and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, they should tell you, look, you seem a little bit smart. You're not going to be on the front line. You'll be, you're going to be doing like electronics and shit. You know what I'm saying? Basic training, not worry about that. That's going to be like 2 weeks. And then you're going to just get your, I think they call it a MOS. You know what I'm saying? That's like your job, your regular job that you're going to do and shit. And so that's how they were selling it, that, yeah, you go in there and you get started off and get your money to go to college or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, see, now it's a different proposition. You know what I'm saying? Now you go in there and the benefits is probably less than it was that what they was offering me. You see what I'm saying? So now it's something different. Now people not gonna want to do it. You see what I'm saying? So for a time, those was the heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knew Thurgood Marshall's name. Everybody like Thurgood Marshall, he was one of the people with, name and face recognition. Like if I just see him walking down the street, I would know that was Thurgood Marshall. You understand what I'm saying? He was Supreme Court Justice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's like, yo, I want to spot to be that. I was like, I want to be a rapper.
Even when you're dealing with the athletes, right?
Yeah.
You had cats like me, Joe Green, Muhammad Ali, Arthur Ashe, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got Floyd. And look, shout out to Floyd. I like Floyd, but I'm just saying that he's not,
He just taking money.
And it's not, what he kind of might, the aspirational ideas that he give people, you know what I'm saying? Like what to aspire to, you know what I mean? Like he popularized making the call on the $100 bills and shit. You know what I'm saying? About the money phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he popularized that.
But that's all. But that's all he like. I get it. Like
I mean, that's a big difference. I'm just telling you that type of behavior, right, would not have been allowed to be heroic. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I see, I give him his work ethic and stuff like that. But if you look at it, he will tell you that I'm just about money. It's like, well, maybe if you get a little deeper than that, but I get what you're saying. Like it's like people rather this entertainment and rap and other forms of entertainment are being pushed rather than science and healing medicine and all the other things.
I mean, look, I mean, that's a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? See, for me, most of my heroes in the street, the people that I knew, I really wasn't paying that much attention. Like I didn't really look up to people on TV like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it do have an impact on people, man. I'm just telling you that, I mean, they was already passed away, but they still was the impact of them, right? You gotta remember, like, look, I'm growing up in the kind of the shadow or whatever, you know what I mean? Like under the influence of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Right. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panthers is doing their thing when I'm a kid and shit. You see what I'm saying? So people was wearing dashikis and afros, you know what I'm saying? You were seeing buy black on the stores and shit, you know what I'm saying? And see, that's the shit I'm talking about. That in 1992, they realized that's who those motherfuckers is. Those kids that grew up with that. You see what I'm saying? And now they ready to take the streets.
Ready to take over.
Yeah, now we need another group of motherfuckers, man. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And not scared that we've made them love us. You understand what I'm saying? So they would never harm Master. You understand what I'm saying? If Master house is on fire, here they come with 10 buckets of water. There was a question, speaking of the military, there was a question I wanted to ask somebody about the military. Somebody's been in the Army that I can't recall right now. Something I was wondering. I see smell goods in the room too. I forgot to say yesterday when you asked me about the kids in the boxing class and how they doing. if you in New Jersey, I gotta find the exact day and the time. But one of my boxers got a game in Giant Stadium. I don't know how he got in there. He's only like 10, 11 years old. But he's playing the big time. So I'm going out there. I'm be there. I gotta find out what's the exact date and time though. And what was the question I wanted to ask Mike? I gotta think of it later. Then come back. Oh, why did we get onto the tarot again? Sometimes I check the comment section, man.
It's going up.
Yes, well, you know, they got their own. While I'm building over here, they have their own situation over there. Sometimes they be in the whole other world. They come on here and talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even come on here to do knowledge with me. Who knows? But you got your definitions now?
Yes. Bring that knowledge. 1. Seeing over the limits or ledge or non-existent limits. Observing, attain, learning, studying information to be applied at a relative time. Wisdom. 2. Collection of information being applied in real time. Observation and action to question unlimited ways to think about goal setting and execution. 3. Understanding, comprehending information in simplistic terms that can be universally applied. 4. Culture or freedom, curating information to create manifestations of active livelihood that aligns with the fact of righteousness, ways of self. What morally makes sense? Free thinking, using active modes to physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially have access to a movement or presence. Power. 5. Refinement, discipline, moral code that coincide with specified specific truths, and attuned force steeped in reality. 6. Equality, the even quality on the plane where information is digestible with all, manifested shared existence. 7. God, supreme being connected with all existence, the meaning over all, in all aspects of the universal contributions. 8. Build, destroy, to make positive additions that can elevate a space in the mind and manifest it in tangible actions, or destroy things that do not make sense. 9. Born. 9. The womb with the product produced of evidence shown of a complete one whole. 0. The DNA fabric goes back to the basis of the original, add on to a person, place, or thing, the degrees of the full conception of 120 knowledge, 120 understanding, and 120 wisdom.
All right, there's no such thing as 120 knowledge, 120 wisdom. That's see you can knowledge 120 lessons, right? And then when you can speak it, right, you can wisdom 120 lessons, right? And then you can understand 120 lessons. But see, you gotta have 360 degrees of knowledge. But see, if you only got 120 degrees of knowledge, right, you only know 1/3 of what you're about to talk about. Yeah, you gotta have 360 degrees of knowledge, 360 degrees of wisdom, 360 degrees of understanding. Now, these definitions, that's your definitions, that's good, right? But here's what I'm gonna tell you. You gotta learn to simplify that. You see what I mean? Because, first and foremost, right, you want to simplify it so that you can understand it. Right now, that's one thing that I just did as a that was just I guess like a device. That was a device that I used in learning. Is that I had to simplify everything because I was learning from people that was twice my age in some cases. You know what I'm saying? Over twice my age in some cases. So they dealing with experiences and talking about things that I don't know what they talking about. You see what I'm saying? So I had to simplify everything down to a way that I can understand it. So you got that, but then also when you teach it, right? If somebody explains something to you, right, and you're more confused than you was before they start explaining to you, they don't know what they're talking about. See what I'm saying? So you want to have things simple, right? And then plus, like you said, you got all these people that they distracted from all these different things. So when you're telling them something, right, you got to be able to, like see when we do when we break it down to, the most simple to where it's like, we just want as quick as we can. Knowledge means to know. Wisdom means to speak. Understanding means to see, right? Culture is a way of life. See what I mean? Freedom is to have liberty mentally as well as physically. You understand what I'm saying? Equality is an exchange. You know what I mean? Power is directed energy. Farming is to clean up because you don't have, these people got short attention span. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to say it simple like that. And then you gotta remember that, like I said, this particular program is for children. You see what I'm saying? So that's where a lot of those very simple manifestations came from. You know what I mean? Because, see now, you get the knowledge, grown men, you've been through all this, but we get the knowledge 8th, 9th grade. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm getting it in the 8th, 9th grade, right? I'm not like one of the youngest brothers even close to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, close, but I'm talking about, when you're young, 2 years is a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that, at 14, 15, when I'm coming around, yes, other people 9, 10, 11. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we can't give dissertations and shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't know, we're learning now how far the sun is from the earth and all of that. You see what I'm saying? But so Now after this, you're responsible for you gotta know the day's mathematics. You know what I'm saying? To simplify it, today's mathematics is today's date. You know what I'm saying?
It's boom.
Yeah. You know, but see, my thing is this. Right now, I say mathematics is born because I completed the cipher that's dealing with Bill of Destroy. You see what I'm saying? Suppose if they came out tomorrow, right? Like, see how they came out one day and say, look, remember the calendar we had? Yeah, nah, we ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? They did that more than one time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They moved, what was that calendar they had before that?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
There was another calendar they had, and then they came with the Julian calendar, right? And then from the Julian calendar, they moved to the Gregorian calendar. You know what I'm saying? They added 3 months. You know what I'm saying? All types of shit. So suppose if they do that again, right? Am I going to just skip to a whole other, you know, I'm gonna skip all this math right here. I don't, you know, that had to be a serious question I would have to consider then. But as of right now, I don't think I would be doing it. See what I'm saying? Just like, see, they took Pluto out of the solar system. I take it out of my lessons. You know what I'm saying? You know, because first of all, it's still where it was said to be. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, but you know, the impact that it's having in the solar system hasn't changed, right? It's just a classification that they give it in the world of astronomy. You see what I'm saying? And then, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. They gotta do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But so now, you know, like I said, now this is something important right here, right? What's tomorrow? See, because now that you got the math, right, you gotta learn how to use it. See, right now, it's like a baby, right? You got the arms and the legs, but you don't know what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? You're scratching yourself and shit like that. You gotta learn how to use it. You see what I mean? And then all the potential already is in you. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta learn how to use the math. So what's the mathematics for tomorrow? Okay. This knowledge added cipher. Right? Because see, here's the thing, right? Mathematics goes from knowledge to born. Right? And what's born is the cipher. Right? So your knowledge adds a cipher to show that it completed that cycle from an idea or a thought to a reality that was born. You see what I'm saying?
So cipher is the manifestation of what we
Right. And so your knowledge added that cipher to show that it went through that cycle, right? And then you go from knowledge to knowledge born, and now your wisdom adds a cipher to show that you completed 2 times now. You understand what I'm saying? See, because the something don't come from nothing. That's why our mathematics don't start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 0 is at the end. See what I mean? Because now you get into, see, that's not our science, that's the mystery science. See what I'm saying? If 1 comes after 0, so now you're dealing with the something comes from nothing. Something.
And that's not true.
That's not our science. See what I mean? So that's a important thing right there about how you got to use mathematics, right? Is that, you know, there's things like, for instance, right? coming into here, right? This is already a cycle. You see, this would confuse a lot of people. That you come and that, yeah, well, I came acknowledge the cipher that was there. You see what I mean? But you got to remember what we teach, right? Who's the original man, right? So if we the original man and we the father of all civilization and God of the universe, right? Then no cipher existed before us. See what I'm saying? That's why we don't have no birth record, because no cipher was here to mark the time. See, they could just only keep telling you when, how far back they found remains. You understand what I'm saying? But they can't put a specific date on this. They can just say, this is the oldest archaeology that we found that, let's say, people was cooking chickens, any whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? You know, we see the chicken bones right here in the chart and all that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how we know that happened. There's no marker there to say, you know, this is when the original man came into existence, right? So therefore, right, our knowledge adds a cipher. See, because what I'm dealing with, I'm talking about me as an individual, right, is the full reality of my existence, right? And not just this shell right here. See, this shell right here came into existence at a certain time, right? In this particular form, right? But see, like we said, right, the building blocks of life is cells, and the building blocks of cells is atoms, right? And we know that atoms is not created or destroyed. So see, I'm one and the same with all this out here, right? All this out here, we all created from the same atoms. Not for nothing, that's something that Neil deGrasse Tyson said. I was like, oh shit, you know, because you know he's from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. I wonder if he heard a little bit of knowledge and shit. Because one day he came on TV and he said, yeah, we all made of stardust. That's what it means when they say we God of the universe. You see what I'm saying? We came here with this. There ain't no other side process that happened that caused us to come into existence. No fucking aliens and Anunnaki and that is bullshit. So when you deal with the signs, like I said, of your existence, who you are, right? Because this right here, like I said, this is a shell where, you know how they got, what they call that, taxidermy, where you could stuff a person, right? A person that passed away, and you stuff them and you sit them right there in the chair. It's not the person. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? That's their body, but that's not the whole of the person.
It was just a show to continue.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's just like right now, if a person, if something happened to me, right, and a person see these videos, yeah, you just see a reflection that was captured of me right there. That's not me. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's not the fullness. That's not, look, I don't eat onions. You can't tell that. You can't tell that on the internet. You don't know me. So, you know, that's how, you know, like I said, now, you know how you see yourself, right? That's how you see the world. You see what I'm saying? You know, ants see the world a certain kind of way that's different from elephants. You know what I'm saying? Like you see an elephant, right? And the lion's running around, the elephant is drinking his water. You see what I'm saying? He's not worried about that. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody else has took off. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, if you identify yourself, right, with only the flesh, right? If you identify yourself, right? And you know, when it say in the Bible, in Psalms 82:6, ye are all gods and are all children of the Most High, but you shall die like men and fall like princes. See what I'm saying? That's when you only identifying yourself as the flesh. You understand what I'm saying? But right now, right, if my hand get chopped off, right, I might weigh a little bit less, right? But I'm not, that doesn't, you know, that has no impact, right, on the life itself that's in. You see what I mean? It's just now I would have to find maybe different or more unique ways to express that life, right? Because now I don't have this hand to, you know, make all the movements that I want to make, right? But this is not, you know, I'm not, you know, whatever's the life is in me is not less this hand now. Right. See what I'm saying? So, you know, just in terms of, you know, as you're drawing up the mathematics, you know what I mean? That's the two main things, right? You gotta know who you are, you gotta have the supreme mathematics, and you gotta have the supreme alphabet. You know what I'm saying? When you come back, you know the day's mathematics, then you start getting the supreme alphabet. You know what I'm saying? Then you gotta do the same thing with that, right? Get your definitions, and you gotta start getting some other things. You gotta get your physical degree. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I wanted you to see what is the importance of it, and how to use the mathematics. You know what I'm saying? So, like I was telling you yesterday, your physical degree, you know, that's a particular cycle that you're going through. You understand what I'm saying? You know, each year, right? You know, your knowledge and wisdom is added. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of you know, just life, you know what I'm saying? Your knowledge, your accomplishments, you know what I mean? And, you know, when you look at life, right, it goes according to the supreme mathematics. You know what I mean? You know, from 1 to 9, you learning the basics. You learning that fire is hot, ice is cold. You know what I'm saying? You learning that, you know, if you do this, you're gonna get scraped up. You know, you learning the basics. You know what I'm saying? You know, then you get knowledge out of cipher. You know what I mean? Now, the knowledge starts adding. Now you start to come up with your own, like, you know, 1 to 9, you basically do it with your parents and your older brothers and cousins is putting you on, you know what I mean? But then you reach your age where you start being the founder of your own science a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? Because now you know knowledge, your knowledge that added the cipher, and you know what's out there now. See what I'm saying? You know if you like baseball or football now. You understand what I mean? And now you start to explore that, and your knowledge begins to increase. You know what I'm saying? When you get to your wisdom added cipher, you know what I mean? Now your abilities, you full grown, your body is full grown now. You see what I mean? The things that you can do, you know, your wisdom is sharp now. You know, this is, you know, it's sharpening during that time. You know what I'm saying? You know, from wisdom knowledge, you know, to wisdom born. The wisdom becomes more laser-like. See what I'm saying? You know, at 21, right? It takes you a paragraph to say something that 29 you say in phrase. You see? But that's the growth and development. You see what I'm saying? Just like at knowledge, right? Which you still might have to ask people questions about and figure certain things out at knowledge born. Yeah, you know about that. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so this is the growth and development that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? When you get in your understanding as, you know what I mean, you're gonna start to see a lot of shit that people been telling you ever since you was 1 to 9. And now you realize why they were saying it. You see what I'm saying? But you said they got the colored man Islam. Yeah, they've been having that. I don't know. You know, the guy, I think he's scamming. I don't even know how they let him on the thing. I don't know how they let him on the thing. He's scamming on there. Tell him why you got a Mars or something. You got no Mars. Niggas in Ohio. Niggas in Ohio with some bullshit on his garage. This nigga got some Arabic paint on his garage in Ohio, acting like it's a goddamn, ain't no Mars. Yeah. What's wrong with him, man? Abdul Rahman. We somehow we gotta come up with another category. I haven't figured it out yet. But what do we have out there, man? We got any questions before I get caught up with Abdul Rahman? Rashallah. Where's he from? Where's he from? I don't recognize that name. Man, Abdul Rahman taking shots. You taking shots. Taking shots at the scam guys. Truth rules. Yeah, that's good. We go back to the topic of today's civilization class: build to be born. You know, build to be born. First of all, it means that the black man is God, and there is no mystery God. that, a law world manifesting is a function of our action. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that we can sit back and wait for any relief to come to us in any name other than our own. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to, are we just talking? You can see you can accumulate a lot of things and never be born. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that got a whole bunch of degrees and never worked in that field. You understand what I'm saying? It's people that, got a whole bunch of money saved up and then blew it on something stupid. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't build to be born. You understand what I'm saying? It's about what you're using your knowledge and wisdom for. Like, we got the knowledge and wisdom so that we could build to be born. But you could have the knowledge and wisdom, right? And like I said, there's never no fruition. There's never nothing, look, there's artists that recorded a whole bunch of songs, never put out an album. There's, artists that painted a whole bunch of pictures, never showed them to nobody. And there's people that come around and they talk all the science, right? When you see them, they got all the paraphernalia. They got flags on, they got t-shirt, they got the crown on, they got pins, beads, all types of stuff. Right? But see, being born is something that you gotta be focused into. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, remember, it don't just go straight from build to born. It's build or destroy. And see, whatever you build up, you could allow it to be destroyed, or you could destroy it yourself before it's born. We give y'all a trigger warning. Give you a trigger warning here, right? But, when the baby's born after 8 months, something's not right. And that could be the signs with anything it is that we doing. So let's look at our specific situation, right? Where people often ask the question, well, why is this thing in the nation like this? Why is that thing in the nation like that? It's because there's no mystery, God, and we actually have to build. We actually have to build to make that thing born. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we have all these high scientists. We could build on everything. We can tell you about physics, chemistry, calculus, trigonometry, algebra, history. Break down DNA for you, right? But what did that add up to? See, again, we say all being born to what? What did it add up to for us? Where did it come out to? You see what I'm saying? Because see, you could build it up and then it still was at a level where you was the only one that think that. Nobody in reality out here that wasn't shown and proven to. See, what Allah did, he built to be born, right? And it's complete. And that's why even if he's not here physically, right, his idea is embodied, right, in what we manifest. that's when you building to be born. You see what I'm saying? You know, you get into these conversations with these people and y'all going back and forth, right? Shout out to Robert Walker, right? You know, Robert Walker in the Wisdom Bodies, right? One thing I heard about them is that they was famous for they was real good at just factual information. Like they knew things like how many times a minute a butterfly flaps his wings and stuff. Right? Now look, that's adding on. If you come to teach me that, you come to tell me how many times to you know, but it's like, okay, but yeah, but what's that? Yeah, see, we built on that. All right, now what?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We're supposed to build to be born. You see what I'm saying? And we build on something like, yo, look, we're going to accomplish this thing right here. Word, all right, so yo, look, this is the part I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? You got that part? All right, no doubt. Now we build to be born. You understand what I'm saying?
How's that manifest and how's that continue? What is it for?
Yeah.
The purpose.
Yeah. See, so when you see it in enlightenment, that's what it tells you. So when you going on Sinetta to school, man, I'm not going to Sinetta. Me and Gene, I seen him the other day. He comes by from time to time to, you know, see if I want to comment. I never want to comment. You know, see, the debate forum is not for me. See, first of all, let me explain you something, right? You know, I'm not, you know, like just the way they be talking to each other and, you know, talking like, you know, look, I'm not, like there's some things where you got to realize that that's a certain form, right? And you got to be built a certain way. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like battle rap, that's a certain form. It's not the same as making records where you got to have a certain kind of skin. You know, I've seen it go bad for people. I've seen it go bad for people that didn't have the right kind of skin for that assignment. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same type of thing. You know what I mean? That's, you know, one aspect of it. And then the other aspect of it is I don't got any debate. Like, what I'm debating to get, see, I'm talking about right here, right now. Like, if they want to talk about ancient Egypt, hey, ditto. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about ancient Israel, ditto. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good aspirational stuff. That's what I look at that type of stuff for. You know what I mean? In terms of, you know, if you tell me, right, or, you know, when I think about the pyramids, right, then it's one of the things where it's like, okay, now I know what the potential for building is. You understand what I'm saying? So I know, you know, this is not just like, you know, before certain players, they didn't even know you could dunk it like that. Like people didn't even know. But as it goes on, like, all right, you get Dr. J. Then Jordan sees Dr. J take to another level. You know what I mean? Because now I see what's possible. Kobe sees Jordan, you know, do what he do because I see now what's possible in the game. You understand what I mean? So when you tell me about these different things that was accomplished or whatever, right? You know, or the different people that was great, then it's like, okay, well, yeah, now I see what the potential is. But the reality is We got to do that right now. You see what I'm saying? So if you really, if we're going to debate something, let's debate. See, look, if somebody on side of the channel, right, Egyptologists, they say, look, I got the plans right here, we can build a pyramid. I help them build a pyramid. But if you just want to sit here and, discuss the matter and this symbol, see now that I don't think that building to be born. See what I'm saying? What's going to be born from that? The knowledge of something that happened 10,000 years ago. And like I said, it's nothing, I'm not saying that it's bad, right? But what I'm saying is that there's some things that we all don't need to do. You understand what I'm saying? We all don't need to go to college to learn African American studies or Black studies or whatever, right? Some of us got to go and learn physics. Some of us got to go and learn engineering. Some of us got to go and learn mathematics. You know what I mean? Some of us got to go and learn economics and all these different areas of life, right? So that you can actually change. You learning all this African history. You got to learn some things that's going to enable you to change some of that history, right? So that the new history that's written is not the same as the history you in there learning now. Yeah.
So it's like it's interesting that you say that, because it's like when you get like have people have these interviews and they're talking about this is what's wrong in our community. That's what's wrong. You got too many people doing that, and then they get to the bottom line question, so what is it that we could do about it? And then they were like, oh well, maybe we could do this, but there's never a concrete solution to build from that and to have something born from that conversation. Not always, but sometimes when they ask that question, they're like, well, I plan on doing this. You know what I mean? Like the initiative of doing something.
I understand what you're saying, but look at this perspective, right? It's not that there's no solution, it's that the people don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? It's that, the grass always looks greener, right? So, there's an analogy out there where it's like, let's say right now, right? You live over here, you got your house, right? And you got a neighbor over there, right? And y'all gotta cut the grass. Now you cut your grass, all you got is a pair of scissors, right? And then you see the dude over there, he's got a riding lawnmower, right? So, of course, you will cut your grass like that. But the thing is, are you going to take the steps that it takes to get that lawnmower, right? The right way. Or are you going to try to skip steps and go and steal his lawnmower? See what I'm saying? And that's what it ends up happening is that, and that's in a lot of things. I see it in the knowledge when people like, we want the knowledge to be like it was back in the days, but you're not prepared to do none of the stuff we was doing. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So by the same token, you could look at the success of Jewish people, Irish people, Italian people, whatever that came to America, right? Mm-hmm. But are you prepared to go through the steps that they went through? That's what I'm saying. Like it's the blueprints is out there all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? Of what needs to be done, not just in the past, but in real time. Meaning there was people that was here before us, right? Mm-hmm. And they did their thing and ended up being, at least nominally successful in America. And now there's people that is here after us. You understand what I'm saying? And we see it in real time right now, you know, whether it's Asian people, you know, certain countries in Africa, whatever, that they just get in here, right? But they all using the same blueprint. You see what I'm saying? And we just, and I mean, don't get me wrong, some of it is that, you know, yeah, why should we have to do that? Like we already worked.
But have we, like, it's like, yeah, they worked for that time and they made their accomplishments, but why didn't we just build over that? Like, okay, let's just say, for example, Black Panther, like they was out here, you know, really catering to the families, you know, and the Breakfast Club was the main thing with making sure we ate, so we didn't have to go to the schools that didn't want to feed us. So it's like, okay, well, why now some people not, or it's because most people can't afford it, depend on the school food, when in the community we can raffle the food and have the same type of club, because that's what how I grew up when I was younger. Like I had my mom was working, so she had to drop me off, and then she would drop me off at like 5 a.m. because that's how she had to go to work. But every morning, the Breakfast Club, the community was feeding me, so I made sure they send me off to school because they thought that was the best way to send me off and make sure nurture me before I went into that beast. And it's like we could pool our resources, why don't we do it? To recreate that and build.
Well, that's there's a lot of aspects of that. You know what I mean? One thing of that is in terms of the kind of goals of the government, right? Is you know, America started as an agrarian society, right? So in an agrarian society, you need a lot of people to do a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do. And the more people you got, the better it is. You know what I'm saying? And so in that time, the extended family was favored, where you had several generations all living, you know, in close proximity, so they could all work together on a farm. You know what I'm saying? With the Industrial Revolution, you need less people, right, to do the work because now you got the machines assisting. You know what I'm saying? So in that time, America favored the nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? But now we in the digital age, right? You only need one person typing on this computer to make shit all around the world. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So now they don't favor no family. They favor the individual. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things, you know, that's one of the factors that kind of just broke down society. You know, the things that you're saying, you know, believe it or not, there's a lot of things like police. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that police exist, right? Now we don't have to band together. See what I'm saying? Like I seen motherfuckers, it was like a wild animal, like a cheetah or a leopard or something, right? Came into the village, people came out and fought the motherfucker off. The dude got attacked and everything. Like the cheetah got him down and everything, but they fought the motherfucker off. You know, got up, he was all bloody and shit, whereas, you know, but they gotta sit together because they don't got no outside thing that everybody's dependent on. You see what I'm saying? There's, you know, of course, all other factors, you know, even the migrations. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, when everybody's down south, you got families that, you know, they've been around for decades. You know what I'm saying? Knowing each other, intermarrying, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? But we get to New York and we don't know those niggas. You know, they funny that whatever they doing, we don't make our rights like that. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, yeah, nah, it's like a different environment, you know what I mean? People don't, you know, trust each other as much, you know what I'm saying? People don't know each other as well. So, you know, that there's 1,000 reasons, you know, why there's why we haven't had to kind of collectivize thoughts and ideas and you know, monolithic ideas and actions. You know, we've had some, like, you know, civil rights, that was a monolithic idea. You know, where everybody that was in the movement wasn't the same. They didn't all have the same politics, but they could all, you know, the same religions, but they could all unify under that one idea. You know what I'm saying? The reality is see, you know, well, without going into Yahoo, let's not even go over that. Let's just say, look, white people beat us to the punch right now. And they have monolithic ideas, like the idea of Europe itself, right? That really don't exist to other people. Like the Japanese and Chinese don't like each other. Right. Like they don't see it like, yeah, we both Asian and shit, we both over here. He said, don't like them niggas, right? You know what I'm saying?
We do our own shit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Africans never got, there's no African really to it. Like that's something that they hear on the outside, but they try. You know what I'm saying? That those ideas, you know, that's why, you know, there wasn't that many conquistadors. There wasn't that many conquerors. You know what I'm saying? You got people that's coming on a couple of ships, right? And a whole population of people. But it's that whole population of people is not unified. You see what I'm saying? And that was really their ticket to winning, is that they exploited the divisions that already existed between the people. You see what I'm saying? There's no one religion in Africa. You know what I'm saying? There's no one religion in India. There's probably 700 religions. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they was able to be successful with those monolithic ideas. Now, like I said, we had 2 time periods when that did happen. You know what I'm saying? You got the civil rights era, right? And you got Reconstruction.
Yeah. When they approved it all. Yeah. A lot of land and everything.
Right.
All that.
So those people, you know, they understood that it needed to be monolithic ideas. It needed to be things where we got to band together. We got to have, you know, towns where we doing our thing. You know, we founded our own towns. You know, we got these different social groups. You know what I'm saying? Right? You know, even the Masons. You know, the Masons, the you know, different groups that started the churches, the Black churches, the different groups that started the Black schools and all of that stuff like that. you know, and what could you say? At this point right now, we live in a culture where, everybody's boss. You know what I'm saying? So, in terms of it's a different game y'all playing. You know what I'm saying? But that's what makes you God. Not makes you God, but that's how you show and prove that you God. You know what I'm saying? By you gotta conquer the trials and tribulations that's in your era. You see what I mean? So those is just like the things that you're saying. Yeah, those are things that we didn't have to figure that out. We didn't have that. We didn't have that issue. You understand what I'm saying? But it tells you the lessons that they continue daily. You understand what I'm saying? And they realize that you can't use the same tricks and expect people to keep falling for it. You see what I'm saying? So they gotta adjust what they're doing. Like you said yesterday, before they could just give you pay, right? But now they know that people is hip to that. So they got to do other things in the dietary world. You know what I'm saying? See, before they could just tell you, yo, yeah, you got some kind of disease in your blood. We got to give you these shots to fix it. And people fall for that. See what I'm saying? Now they know they got to tell you, look, it's a killer virus out there. You understand what I'm saying? It's because you can't trick the people with the same shit. You understand what I'm saying? Once the people get hip to that, they're going to have to adjust. So now you got to adjust. You understand what I mean? The only constant in the universe is change. And all of those, they can't, just a lot of things, like something that happened in my lifetime, right? Good example, right? About the dog whistle politics. The dog whistle politics, that's something that happened, like politicians used to get on TV and say nigga. Yeah, you shot positive on TV, said, listen, man, but in fact, now they didn't say nigga, they said nigger. That's how they used to say it, nigger. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they should get right on TV. They say nigga. It was nothing. You know what I mean? You could straight up say, listen, those black people over there, yeah, fuck them. Wow. Well, you couldn't say fuck them, but you can express that sentiment, right? Mm-hmm. After the civil rights movement, right? You can't, that was now politically, this is unacceptable, even in the Republican Party, right? So this is when terms like we're gonna be tough on crime. See what I'm saying? So it's dog whistle, because you know how a dog whistle, only somebody with that ear, right, can hear that frequency of sound. So now when you say crime, right, or welfare, right, the average person thinks, oh yeah, that's those black people in the inner cities. You understand what I'm saying? Public is a word like that, not to as much of a degree, because public means that those black people is going to be included. You understand what I'm saying? So all the different things, like remember a couple of years ago, you had a dude that he called the morning and they stopped using that. When he was like, yo, they kept saying that he was a thug, right? He played in the NFL, right? He was saying, yeah, he's one of the thugs in the NFL. And the dude was like, look, man, I'm from LA, son. Like, I know some thugs. You know what I'm saying? He was like, listen, even they'll tell you, oh, him? Nah, he ain't no thug. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I know some thugs. And he was like, listen, I know what you really doing. That's just your new way to say nigga. And he shut them down. He shut them down from that. They stopped using that. See what I'm saying? But they can use, right, all of these different images that they put up there on TV, right, that represent us. Now they can use the description of that image to mean us. You see what I'm saying? Instead of just saying that. Yeah, and this is the type of adjustments that they constantly making, right, to the devilish. This is the kind of adjustments that they constantly making and how they oppress people. You see what I mean? Just like, look, the 13th Amendment, right, where it says slavery is abolished, except. See, except doesn't mean it's abolished.
Just a way to get to say put it in a loophole.
Yeah. So now, once that happens, right, then they adjust all of the rest of the laws, right? So now loitering and all this other shit becomes against the law, punishable by prison time.
Slavery.
You see what I'm saying?
Because now there's more people in jail than there was back in slavery. That's new slavery. That's all the reforms of this.
Tom Willis said nigga on Tom Willis said nigga on the Jeffersons.
See that.
That's pretty well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Georgia kicked his ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that. Yeah, Judge Jefferson used to do the tip. Judge Jefferson from Harlem, son. From Harlem. Can you born to rebuild? I mean, if you asking me personally, I feel like I was born to build. I was just my lane. You know what I'm saying? But nah, see, it's law and it's order. And 8 comes before 9. You see, sometimes when we talking, we get all loose and shit. But the basics is still the basics. You know what I mean? Don't ever get up in the clouds and forget that that's water. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever get up there and think that this not the same stuff that's down there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was born to build. But 8 has to come before 9. Don Bishop is here. I had a question for Don Bishop too. I can't recall what it was. It was a question I had for Don Bishop. It was pertaining to, I've been watching Captain Tazariak. Shout out to the captain. he got a show on here, Cross the Line. And I was watching him debate some he has quite a few debates with some, what I consider white Jews. And there's some interesting stuff. I can't recall, but I don't know why I'm forgetting all my questions today. Actually, that's why the question didn't end, because I think of the question, and then by the time I missed that totally, man. When Tom Willis said that. Although, look, I do know this though, that it has never, right, in the history of censorship, it's never been against the rules to say nigger. Whether you was hearing it or not, there's certain things you can't say the F word, you can't say the S word, you can't. It's never been
on TV. I don't understand that. I know there was second place where they're not outlawed.
Right. Yeah.
But that was a true story.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe because, that's a word with another formal meaning. You know what I'm saying?
But the way they be using it is like, see this, what you gonna say? Also, like when people get caught shaming you.
Complete said he got his DNA results back. Indigenous Puerto Rico and indigenous Americas, Chile and Mali, and of course Portugal. That's interesting. So are you I never had a word for that. I gotta ask. I always had to ask Sonia. It was the proper time. But you're Hispanic, Latin. Because I'm just saying, in terms of the historical, just the just the flow of time, right? That would put your family very early in the the transatlantic. Which country in the Caribbean, I'm sorry, or South America, which country? Yeah, that's a good question too. That 793rd asks, is this just one side or is this both sides? Which country in the Caribbean, like Dominican, Puerto Rican, Costa Rican, because Portugal, Puerto Rico. Now, I mean, you may have already researched it. Just in my mind, I'm going through, the history in terms of, when Portugal got involved with the transatlantic, you know what I'm saying? And then you also know that you had that split from the Pope, where he split the map and that everything on one side was for Portugal, everything on the other side was for Spain. So just in my mind, I'm just running through like what might be the story. But actually, you said right here, there's a Caucasian from Spain and Portugal. That would explain it. It's much simpler than what I was thinking, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of the, some of the very, first slaves from, before it became transatlantic, it was trans-Mediterranean.
When did they switch routes?
After Columbus started establishing everything over here, the Portuguese, they freed themselves from the Muslims before the rest of Spain. See what I'm saying? So they was already doing things by the time they was already going down before Spain even, had their boats together. See what I'm saying?
Before or after Columbus?
Before, like Columbus is 1492. The Portuguese is already doing anything in the 1450s. You see what I'm saying? So, at that time, of course, there's no, they haven't gone across the Atlantic. See what I'm saying? So my mother's side is part of the history of the Americas heavy, and it shows they came from Mali. The Ruru roots one way and Berber roots the other. Yeah, because that's kind of what you got to do when you get that DNA stuff is there. You got to, match it up with the history that occurred, in order to try to get some, if you want to try to get some type of story out of it, you know what I mean? But, otherwise you could just say, yeah, that's what's there. And what they gave you for the percentages. See me, I'm still I don't even have my DNA.
I was saying the same shit.
You know what I'm saying?
My father made a Uber. I'm like, bro, think about this. How do you know that they got your DNA somewhere? And how do you know they gave you the accurate reading? They could told you.
Oh no, they got it. That's the first thing the police do when a crime happens. They run past those databases because you volunteered that, so they don't need no warrant. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, with that stuff right there, you can you can look at the 1 in 36 and kind of get a more complete story. Like we all just got this basic story that just happened, you know what I mean? But like you know, with Alex Haley, even I heard of some funny business with that too, but you know, like with Alex Haley, you know, where he was able to go back and put a story to that. You know what I'm saying? Like we all might have a similar story of something that happened, but it's specific though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know what it is though. Once they got somebody in your family, they got you. Like I seen it. I seen a thing. It was like one of them. It was like a murder mystery, right? And this thing had happened like in the late 70s or something. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, there's no DNA and shit or nothing. So, you know, they still got the evidence or whatever. And when DNA comes out, they decide to run a DNA, right? They get a hit, right? But when they get the hit, they like, yo, it's close, but this is not the person. But whoever did it is a sibling of this person. So then, like I said, they go back and ran the history, checked on all his brothers and seen which one of them was around that area at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And by the time they rolled up on him, like when the police rolled up, right? He already like is conscious, he just confessed right there. But there's another dude out in LA more recently. He was like it might be him, it might be the dude in, I ain't sure which is either him or the dude in Cleveland, but this dude he's like possibly the most prolific serial killer of all time. Like he was killing from the 70s to the 90s, right?
You talking about the Zodiac killer?
Not the Zodiac. This guy's black. And that's what's wild about it, because people, you know, nobody was thinking that black people was doing stuff like that. His son got busted and went to prison. And when he got in there, they took his DNA. And being that the case is so like the DNA from this serial killer is just out there. Like they looking to see who it is. That's how he got caught. So they got enough. They got enough people.
But my thing is, he still ain't called the Zodiac killer. And he probably dead by now, but they never called him.
Yeah, it's Richard Ramirez.
What? I thought that was just like some theories.
Now I know you talking about it's other people that they never caught, but now they got Richard Ramirez. You said you learned you have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Would they all have they DNA on there too? like y'all, it's just
imagine. Shit. That's crazy.
But I have heard about stuff like that. That, you know, when people start running the DNA, they find out that all different states got different brothers. Oh man. And yeah, listen, I already know, man. If I know, listen. I'm almost positive we have. Yeah, the Grim Sleeper. That's the guy. The Grim Sleeper. His son got busted. That's how he got caught. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, man. Sugar Bear RT. You know what I'm saying? I'm fairly sure. You know, I got some. You know, some other cousins out there, at the very least, aunts and uncles, et cetera, et cetera. All right, I gotta check it. So these was, and where's the 3 brothers and 2 sisters? They in Puerto Rico or they up here? Yeah, I guess you gotta talk to them now once you find out. You gotta you got to talk to them now.
arrive at the front door like, oh, you ready? I got the DNA too.
And they all in New York. That's wild. They arrested the ex. So you met them yet? You seen them? Yeah, but that's what I said. They got enough of my physical DNA that, if anything happened, they know. You know what I'm saying? They already know.
Wait, so they don't need a search warrant to search you? They just do it?
No, once you're in jail, they can do it. Because remember, when you're in jail, you're a slave. Property of the state. You see what I'm saying? And then the people that put it on the sites, you put it in public view. So you don't need a warrant. Like I could just look at you right there.
What about a medical? Like say you have like an injury, that's still searchable or not? Because I'm not in prison. I'm at medical. I'm in a hospital.
No. You got patient rights. They probably didn't get the message yet. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? If I had some long lost brothers and sisters out there, I'm pretty sure they I couldn't imagine. Like imagine I had a long lost brother out there, right? And he was like heavily Christian. Actually, I got a brother that's heavily Christian. I'll talk to him about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's true. Now, Complete brought up a good point. Where he said, look, when he went in the military, they already took his DNA. So yeah, I do agree with that. That if you got it, then I need it. See what I'm saying? Because if you're going to use it against me, I need to use it in my favor. See what I mean? But so far, I've been able to escape. I gotta ask my daughter. She's the type. She's the type to get her to get her a test.
Wait, so when they take your blood, they're taking your DNA?
No, that's a separate test. But I just say if they got your blood, eventually they could probably run it, but they probably need a warrant though. If you're not in the system.
Wait, okay. What about fingerprint? That's DNA.
Say it again?
When you fingerprint you, is that them taking your DNA?
Nah, but they still need a warrant for all that. Like anything.
Even when they hold you. I've been holding.
You're supposed to be secure in your personal belongings and shit. Nobody's supposed to be rifling through your things. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they can see, like it's just public. Like if they just look in the window, right? We had that open. Right. So now if they see something, now they got probable cause and all that to be, doing whatever. You see what I'm saying? But they can't now. Because see, even with that, technically, they're supposed to know what they're looking for. Like they're not supposed to just be checking your DNA just to see if you they gotta have a reason to think that you did something. Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, and specifically that's concerning what they're dealing with. You see what I mean? If they search me, they can't search me and say, well, we were seeing if he had a gun or a drug. No, you're supposed to be looking for a gun. Yes, I mean, even that. Look, when they give you a warrant, there's some warrants for your person, and there's some warrants for the location. See what I'm saying? Sometimes they come looking for a person, they're not supposed to be opening doors and shit like that. See what I'm saying? Like if you went and stood in the closet, they're not supposed to open that because they got a warrant for that person.
So basically, people be letting them in.
Yeah, that should be happening.
Because I'm like, why would you even say?
Yeah, that should be happening. They come and say what they say, and then the average person think warrant just means warrant. No. You gotta have a warrant for something. Well, see, they get around. See, at the end of the day, right? All of this, what I'm saying, you got to go to court for that. But in terms of the police, here's the thing. They can stop you for, they got 1,000 reasons, what I mean, of just things if they want to stop you, right? They can stop you, to see if you got ID, right? Now, once they stop you, right? Safety. For their safety, right? They allowed to search you. See, complete put it right there. They'll say they're doing a safety check, right? So now they've negated the need for the warrant. But look, that's the tricks of the trade. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. These are the things, that they adjust, right? Like, see, and that happens a lot of times. When the police say they're gonna stop a certain tactic, what they really mean is they're gonna adjust it, right? Yeah, so that they're not breaking that particular rule. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they can do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? The only justice is in the appeals court.
Or if they don't read you direct, right? I say they don't say
I don't mean that.
Like that?
Well, actually, this was some years ago, maybe about 20 years ago, they came out and said that they're not obligated to do that. Yeah, like that was a specific thing that happened in a specific case. And what they were saying is that the conditions of that case don't exist no more. You know what I'm saying? Those is called, like it's some constitutional shit, but it's called Miranda rights because it was a dude named Miranda that got arrested and, he confessed to whatever it was and shit. And then when he got to the court, he was like, yo, he didn't know he had the right not to speak and shit. You know what I'm saying? But recently they went back in the court and it was a whole bunch of stuff like, like Miranda wasn't like highly educated or whatever, people didn't know, people didn't know the law as well then. So being that now everybody should be abreast of the fact that they got the right to remain silent, they're not obligated to do it no more. But it always was like that. Like, look, I've been arrested, right? When, look, the other brother that's with me, he told me, he said, yo, man, you even read my rights. The police looked back and said, you got the right to shut the fuck up. You got me moving. You know what I mean? Now, look, I've been arrested other time, right? Where they had a card, right?
Yeah.
They read you both sides of the card. You know what I'm saying? This, you got the right to remain silent, boom, boom, right? And then you had to sign the card on which side, whether you was going to talk to them or don't talk to them, you had to sign the card. You know what I mean? So that's two extremes. That's just showing you what the fuck they wanted. And then when you get to court, if you can prove what's what. See what I'm saying? So they change rules and regulations not only in the law system, but I see it at the justice all the time. They were mandating us to come to work on our days off. If we didn't show, they get cut off right there. But yeah, I mean, Yeah, that DNA science, you know what I'm saying? I predict I'm from Senegal myself. I don't think I'm a pop. Just when I look at them, that's what they look like me. When I see the Nigerians, they don't look like me.
So to know without them taking my DNA. So
Are you guys Senegal too? Yeah, Ghana. That now look, that's what because at that time there was no Senegal, right? So I do, I'm fairly sure that I'm from Great Ghana, like all that area at the time was the Great Ghana Empire. Well, nah, you ain't gonna see South Africans because they wasn't really no slave ships came from there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now people could migrate from all over. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure, somewhere in the mix, you know what I'm saying, that there could be, I'm not, we not 12 tribe in it. we not on the 12 tribe chart, but we gonna say that none of them. But yeah, that's where I'm pretty sure I'm from Great Ghana. But yeah, this is John Bishop saying that when they was mandating people to come into work, if they didn't show up, they couldn't do nothing. So they changed the terminology of how they speak on these mandated days to schedule overtime, so that now if you don't show up, they can retaliate against you. This is how it does.
now if you don't stay, it's a problem. Now, once. I'm not gonna be getting to work on big holidays too.
Well, I mean, we discussed that, right? That when you get into your lessons, right? This is actually, a point right here. When you get into your lessons, right? Get to the lesson where it tells you that, we ran the colored people over the hot Arabian desert and took from them everything except their language. So you have to be very careful, right, about these different languages that they speak. You see what I mean? Like legalese, you know what I'm saying? Medical terminology, different things that they say, right? Where they could be talking about something that you're perfectly well acquainted with, but you don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, see, if you go into the court, you might think that you're hearing regular English. But see, when you go in there, people in persons is not the same thing. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't speak legalese, you don't know that.
So how do you get away from speaking language? Because this language, we have to speak it, but at the same time, we do. So what do we do?
You gotta understand true meaning. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why, also, as you're dealing with the mathematics, right? And as you continue to define them, go into the etymology of the words. See what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you got words that they sound the same, they might be spelled the same, but they from different roots. You know what I'm saying? Like one word might sound the same, but this word might have a root in German, and the other word might have a root in Latin. You see what I'm saying? So, in this language, right, you have, you know, 8. Do we mean the number between 7 and 9? Or do we mean the past tense of eat? You see what I'm saying? That's part of the thing going on with this language that, okay, we got to understand true meaning. So that's why we got supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet, and the science of knowing how to study these things to be able to understand the meaning of it. You understand what I mean? And in some cases, we have to actually become proficient in that language, right? Because we're in this world, you know what I'm saying? We got to interact with all the people in it in order to survive. See what I'm saying? So in that interaction, we need to know what we're dealing with. We need to know if it's positive or negative. People, what's their idea of this interaction? You know what I'm saying? Are they coming here to make an inter-orientation where we're going to end up slaves? Or we coming here to do something where all parties are going to benefit? Complete as Hebrew Israelite. Complete at 2%. 2%. He's 2% Jewish.
So mathematics and alphabet is language.
Hmm?
I said, so the mathematics and the alphabet is language.
Exactly. See, all the language, right? Language is a code. See what I'm saying? And once you got a code, it's dealing with frequencies, right? And frequencies is dealing with numbers. See what I mean? So for instance, Morse code, right, is certain, one tap is one thing, 2 taps is another thing. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the language. You know what I mean? Instead of using a number of taps, you're using the signs and symbols of the Greek alphabet. But at any rate, we down right now. I think we got about 3%. We got about 3% power. Pretty much that's what we got. Understanding means to see, we got Don Bishop, we got Don Bishop, we got some Hebraic, Hebraic knowledge here being manifested, But at any rate, everybody that made it this far, do each one, teach one. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Otherwise, don't forget about the book drive. Hit the Cash App if that's how you're going to do it. Otherwise, you can just mail the supplies to 2122 7th Avenue, New York, 10031. No, 10027. My fault. Other than that, we're going to sign off from the G building. Peace, everyone.